So we are continuing the frequent questions concerning the chanting. There are 6 sections. We covered Nama Tattva, improving the chanting, then avoiding the offenses. And yesterday we read about the holy name is transcendental, um, and how the power of Panchatattva Mahamantra, living a positive spiritual life, realizing the Krishna while chanting. So today we read about the perfection of chanting. Question: are these references from Srila Prabhupada and his spiritual master that the chanting of the holy names is the most important activity in devotional service? Answer is yes. Srila Prabhupada states, of all the regulative principles, the spiritual master's order to chant at least 16 rounds is most important. This is from the Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila 22.113. The question about the most important of all processes of devotional service was also raised by Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, who asked Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which items is most important in the execution of devotional service. The Lord replied that the most important item was the chanting of the holy name of the Lord. Then the Lord cited the following verse: Harer Nama, Harer Nama, Harer Namaiva Kevalam, Kalau Nastaiva, 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 Gatir Anyata. In this age of quarrel and hypocrisy, the only means of deliverance is the chanting of the holy names of the Lord. There is no other way, there is no other way, there is no other way. Chaitanya Charitamrita Madhyalila. After listing the 64 items of devotional service, Srila Rupa Goswami mentions 5 of them which are exceptionally important. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakura explained very convincingly how each one of these 5 potent processes actually points to the chanting of the holy name. After careful consideration of the 5 processes of devotional service mentioned by Rupa Goswami, it is clear that the best practice is Sri Nama Bhajana, service of the God's holy name, which is the root of all these and is glorified above all. What are those 5? Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavat Savana, Madhuravasa, Sri Murti Seva, and Nama Sankirtana. First one, Sadhu Sangha. Associating with devotees is recommended to create a taste or inclination for Sri Nama Bhajana. This comes from associating with saints who are attached to chanting the Krishna's names with firm faith and who chant names systematically. Bhagavata Sravana. Bhagavad Sravana, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, which itself declares Sri Nama Bhajana to be the highest value. In its beginning, middle, the story of Ajamila in the 6th canto, and at the end, the Srimad Bhagavatam repeatedly stresses the efficacy of Sri Nama Bhajana. Third, Madhuravasa. Residing in a holy name like Madhura, Nama Bhajana is situated at the root of residence of in the Vindavana or Sridhama Mayapura. The sadhus living in or visiting these holy places are always engaged in Nama Sankirtana. Fourth, Sri Murti Seva. The service of Krishna's deity is always conducted with mantras full of God's names. The Hari Bhakta Vilasa and Sri Jiva Goswami say that deity service must be accompanied with chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra for it to be accepted. Fifth one is Nama Sankirtana is directly the chanting of the holy names. The Chaitanya Charitamrita states that of 9 ways of devotional service to get love of God, the foremost is Nama Sankirtana. One who chant Nama without offenses surely achieves the love of the God. The Bhakti Sandarbha says that no form of bhakti is Madhuravasa, Sadhu Sangha, Srimurti Seva, and Bhagavata Shravana, as listed above, is complete without Sri Nama Sankirtana. The Hari Bhakti Subodhaya says that Sankirtana is the highest and foremost of all spiritual practices for attaining the Krishna's mercy. If the other practices of bhakti are helpful to Sankirtana, they should then be accepted. Sixth part is a practical support. Question: are there any practical steps we could undertake which would enable us to advance to higher level of chanting? Answer: many devotees in the past were successful raising their meditation of the holy name to a higher level by obeying these following 8 rules. These rules start with quite technical or mechanical arrangements and gradually lead to a point of controlling the thoughts and working on the inner attitude. Someone who wants to reform his chanting may require a certain run-up. We can compare this to the flying techniques of an albatross, which runs 50 meters on the beach before rising up in the air. Once having successfully soared up into the sky, the bird is able to remain high in the sky for days without any need to move the wings. Similarly, anybody who observes the following rules will surely come to the point of having wonderful experiences with the holy name. What are those 8 rules? First one is a preparation. Make a resolution the day before. Tomorrow I will chant the Mahamantra with full concentration. Go to bed early. Second one, start very early in the next morning. Chanting at a place free of distraction, either in the association of devotees or at a location which offers you maximum solitude. If the mind starts to flicker, calm it down by prayer or try some breathing exercise. The most effective practice for those unacquainted with pranayama is to inhale and exhale deeply. Srila Sanatana Goswami recommends in Haribhakta Vilasa that before chanting Gayatri Mantra, one should perform some pranayama exercises. Third one, which while chanting, chant your rounds fluently without interruption. Control your speed in the beginning. Take care of a clear, distinct pronunciation of body names, holy names. Keep a straight, upright posture. It is better to sit upright while chanting. This posture is in the mood of goodness. To lie down would be in ignorance, and walk is in the mood of passion. So next one is concentrate the mind on the sound vibration. Control the mind. Draw it back when it drifts away. Relieve it from the past by not delving on what happened the day before, or the week before, or the year before. Abandon the planning of your daily schedule in case the shopping list or service schedule repeatedly turn up in the mind. One can shortly interpret chanting and write down the points, then the mind will be calm again. Try to attain the state of mind recommended in the third verse of Sri Sishtastaka: humility, tolerance, pridelessness, respect for all living beings. This attempt will succeed if you bear in mind that as the soul you are insignificant, minute part of the Lord. Seventh one is meditate on the meanings of the holy names while chanting as it revealed by Srila Prabhupada and previous acharyas. Eighth, chant with a feeling of longing for Krishna. Some devotees read or recite the Sistashtaka prayer before chanting in order to find the proper attitude. It is also helpful to chant all the rounds in succession without interruption. Many devotees display pictures of their spiritual master and of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and his associates in order to chant in the best association. These are some general rules. The important point is that each devotee finds out individually that helps what helps him the most to improve his chanting. I think we can stop here. So I think this chapter we read about, what are the frequent questions concerning the chanting, what is the meaning of Mahamantra, and how to improve the chanting, chanting and associating with the devotees, turning the mind towards the holy name, appreciating the holy name, and avoiding the offenses, living the positive spiritual life, realizing Krishna while chanting, and the power of Panchatattva Mahamantra. And we all know that when believe that holy name is transcendental and the perfection of chanting. And today we read about, out of 64 items of 54 angas of devotional service, Srila Rupa Goswami mentioned that 5 of them are very important. I think that's what we also call A, B, C, D, E. So A is association like Sadhu Sangha, B is Bhagavat Sravana, Madhura Vasa, Sri Murti Seva is like a deity service, Nama Sankirtana is chanting the holy name. But out of this 5, which is not complete without the Nama Sankirtan. If you do other 4, Sadhu Sangha, Bhagavat Sravana, Madhura Vasa, and Sri Murti Seva, is not complete, without Hare Krishna Mahamantra. And there are also practical support given. How do we prepare ourselves the day before, that we make a resolution, start early in the morning, chant fluently, concentrate mind on sound vibration, bring it back, or slow down to control the mind. And also, I think Shistastaka verse 3 is being emphasized repeatedly again and again. So I think we have to pay attention to that, or meditate upon the Shistastaka verse 3, and also meditate up the meaning of the holy name which we are reading every day before chanting. So I think this morning setting is an example, or I think based on practical support given and mentioned today.